see, that's the advantage of using the flip phone. Hi, it's me in my square glasses and my bathrobe. This is my Dalai Lama look. Because we're going to talk a little bit about religion today, or something different. I think that's what's really needed, is something different. What I'm talking about is having a church that really is for the people. Because God just gets in the way. And I know humanism's got a real bad rap. People don't like it. It's equivalent to child molestation and other bad things in a lot of minds. But no one's got a problem with humanitarians, I've noticed. I mean, you have people, get at their funerals, they deliver eulogies, and they say he was a great humanitarian or she was a great humanitarian. So that's got a pretty good rap. So I'm thinking about starting the idea of having a humanitarian church. And God would not be required. It would be a God-free zone. Basically, we would just get together and try to be nice to one another and figure out ways to be nice to other people through charitable acts. Well, I'm just playing with some things here while I'm talking. See, some that's left from a project the other day. Anyway, it'd be about something for the people. There would be no dogma other than being nice to one another. And for Americans, I think we've done the Christian thing for a long time, so I think the idea would be to do kind of a red letter gospel thing, but do it more along the lines of the people in the Jesus committee there at Emory, or the Jesus Seminar, where they went through and they ranked all the verses in the Bible that Jesus said, or were attributed to him, the Gospels. And they said, we went through and voted on them. So like, well, how real was this? Is this, we have a fair idea of what this guy kind of sounds like grammatically, and also philosophically, from what we get out of our analysis of the Gospels, and therefore we're going to vote on them all. And what I've noticed is some of the ones that tend to stay are the ones that tend to go more toward charity and avoiding hypocrisy, and basically telling the rich that you're not going to keep all your money, you're going to die. And so we could basically keep Jesus around for the Americans. I guess the Hindus could groove on Krishna or Buddha or whatever, but the whole thing would emphasize the humanity, not the divinity of man, but our common humanity, of humans, excuse me. Man does imply some kind of division. And so that's the plan, is to start the first humanitarian church, and I guess in some parts of the U.S. you could say of Jesus, to differentiate from Christ, but to imply that there is some philosophical connection. Like the Sermon on the Mount. Or my favorite, this is the one I always keep coming back to, is the two verses that would make up the entire Bible. And the first one's down there in Genesis, I think it's chapter 9. Right after Cain has done an Abel, murdered his brother, and he is asked where his brother is, and he says, I'm not my brother's keeper. Or am I my brother's keeper? First question posed to the divine in the Bible. And then the arc, to me, goes all the way to the Gospel of John after that, to the parable of the Good Samaritan. And the idea being, Cain poses, am I really my brother's keeper? And Luke resoundingly says, yes, in the parable of the Good Samaritan, we are responsible for one another. Because all the people who are supposed to have been the man on the side of the road's supporters, his community group, the holy people of his community, they all decided not to help him out. And it took someone who had nothing in common with him but his humanity to go in and recognize this is a suffering being, and that kind of transcends social obligations, social debts. And this is what it's really all about. It's not about pie in the sky or grooving with the Almighty with your feathers and your wings and your six-string harp. It's truly about being human to one another. Be human to yourself. And understanding what that word means. And if there is a spirituality implied in all that, which going back to the original form of the word, which connotates essence, then it's to really fathom what the essence of your truest humanity is. We are beings that have come about through a natural process. No ghosts were required, or needed, or wanted, except maybe for entertainment value. If it entertains you to get into the idea of the supernatural, that's fine, but let's not make policy decisions on it. Your ghost should not trump my reality. And so that's the idea. And I guess it would kind of work like this. You could have a meeting, because what is more human than to have meetings and get together with other folks? And we could talk like this, maybe like the Quakers. You could take turns witnessing about what you think your reality is. And then, bring snacks and dips, maybe covered dishes on Wednesday. That's always a good thing to do. And have a band, if you're going to sing, that's fine, but that shouldn't keep Led Zeppelin out, or Charlie Parker, or anybody else. Because what is more human than the music we make? Not that sacred music isn't fun. I still fondly remember the hymns of my youth. A Sweet Hour of Prayer and all that kind of good stuff. It's real maudlin, touching, emotional things. But, it shouldn't be an appeal to a ghost who's going to bail us out of our nonsense. It should be an appeal to one another. If there's an old rugged cross to cling to, it is the cross of humanity, of how we suffer, how we live, how we love, how we are born, how we die. That is our cross, our mortality. So anyway, that's a kind of a philosophical thing you could do at these kinds of meetings, kind of explore what it is to be human. Because at the end of the day, that's all we really are. When you're put on that slab for your last wash and dress, before you're presented to the people, the only thing anyone can truly say about you at that point is that you are a human being, or were a human being, or there is the body of a human being. That's the only positive ID that you're ever going to get, is you are a human being. This other stuff, this behavior that's expressed, can only be witnessed while you were in action. When you are in action, you can be a humanitarian, or you can be a psychopathic, serial homicidal maniac. And that's only determined by active behavior, what you display. But at the end of the day, we are all human. So I guess this is the first message from the Humanitarian Church of Jesus. And as my good friend Dusty would say at the Cult of Dusty, who I adore, I think he has a lot of reality. He has a lot more balls than I do, though. because I could never get that aggressively vulgar or use the words he does. But I admire his passion. And I think if Jesus was going to be knocking over tables and chasing out the money lenders, he'd probably either have someone like Dusty helping him, or he would be a lot like Dusty in that mode. So Dusty, logic. Everybody else is that the right orientation? Yeah, it is. Because if you do it the other way, then you get it the other way. So anyway, again, a message from the First Humanitarian Church. And as Spock would say, live long and prosper. And I'll just say, take care of yourself, have a good time. I think the Buddhists do this thing, and so do the Boy Scouts. And Winston did that. But so, hand signs of human beings. Have a great day, and take care of yourself. And remember, if you have the surplus, and even if you don't, try to stretch yourself a little bit, reach out to another person that you think might need it. And be good about it, be nice about it, be nice to one another. Sayonara.